Go. Hello, Augies Worldwide. I'm Dave Kassler, amateur radio call sign KE0OG, and I'm here with Ask Dave, episode number 204. When I was at Dayton, I had the chance to meet one of the marketing guys from Bridgecom Systems. They sell repeaters and Anytone products. Quite an interesting business mix. I asked Daniel Kohanowitz is his name, asked Daniel if he would allow me to interview him so that we could learn just a little bit more about Bridgecom. They advertise in QST, but otherwise I hadn't noticed them very much, and I thought this was a great opportunity to learn about people making repeaters for amateur radio. Not only analog, but also DMR and D-Star repeaters, and I think they do fusion also. So we're going to have an interview with Daniel, and at about the halfway point, a quick reminder to please click like, and then at the end I'll wrap it up. Tell me a little bit about the business that you're in. What does Bridgecom do?
Yeah, so Bridgecom, we're a two-way radio communications company. We're a manufacturer, a dealer. We do a lot of support. But that's what we primarily do. We manufacture systems products, repeaters, duplexers, as well as we carry a lot of user radios, such as our Anytone DMR radios, as well as some mobiles. Basically a whole array of UHF and VHF systems and user radio products for amateur and commercial use.
What percentage is amateur?
Probably in terms of sales, it's probably the majority of our sales at this point is amateur radio sales.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know have exact numbers, but I would say the majority of it.
Okay. Did you find your trip to Dayton useful? That's where we met.
Yeah, I did. We had a really good time there. Did really well. Really enjoyed hanging out with all of our customers and potential customers and people that we've helped along the way. Got some great footage and pictures of some people that really enjoy using our stuff.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about the repeaters that you guys make. What kinds of repeaters are available?
Yep. So we make 3 flavors: a UHF repeater, a VHF repeater, and a 220 repeater. Of course, those are all single band repeaters. They can do, the VHF does 50 watts continuous duty, the UHF is 40, and 220 is 30 watts, and those are true continuous duty repeaters. They will run all day at those powers. You can get them. They're analog repeaters. They're Part 90 accepted, perfect for commercial use. We have them in commercial service all over the place, but they're a very good option for hams as well, especially to replace a lot of old and ailing existing repeaters that a lot of clubs have.
So if some club wants to put in a repeater, the first question they're going to ask you is how much does it cost?
Sure.
What are the costs and what all is included in those costs? Just general numbers.
Yeah. So just for a plain repeater, it would cost you $11.95, and that's for all the different flavors. So it'd be almost $1,200, and in that you'd get obviously the repeater. You get an internal controller, a power supply in the box with it that you can hook up to external DC supply. It just plugs right into the wall for AC connection, and then all you need to do, and we'd also, for that price, we're going to tune it and set everything up for you in the shop at no additional charge. So just provide your frequencies, tone, call sign, and whatever power output you'd like it set for, and we'll tune everything up, program it, and send it out to you. So all you have to do is plug it into your system, and you're ready to go.
Now, I've heard that 2-meter repeaters require these things they call cans. Can you describe those to me, what those are and what the official name is for them?
Sure. So you're probably referring to duplexers.
Yeah.
And what a duplexer is basically just, in terms of function, what it does is it allows you to just use one antenna and feed line instead of 2, which is usually beneficial because it'll cost less, as you can now buy one less antenna and less feed line, especially if you're running up a really high tower, like 100 or 200 feet. Feed line can get pretty expensive. And basically what it does is it's going to filter the transmit and receive frequencies as they go in and out. So you can run them both up and down the same antenna and feed line. And usually people get a great cost savings as well as a savings in tower space. So because it usually costs, if you want to rent space on a tower or something like that, and you only have to pay for one slot instead of two antennas.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to worry about spacing or anything like that, and interference between the transmit and receive signals.
And how much do these diplex or duplexers cost?
Mm-hmm. So it varies between frequencies. Seems like most commonly people are buying our UHF duplexers. We actually have a set that will fit in the chassis internally in the repeater chassis, and those cost about $330, and those will handle up to 50 watts. But if, say, somebody wanted to run higher power, like an amp or something like that, up to 100 or 200 watts, we have some other set of cans for the UHF and VHF that are around $1,300 to $1,400.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have a 220 duplexer that is $995.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we sell and provide jumper cables for all that, so we can set up, and we'll tune those duplexers as well. I know a lot of people, they don't know how to tune duplexers, and it's a great service to just have them all ready to go, and you can just plug them both together, and you're on your way.
Mm-hmm.
So we do that for no additional charge when you buy our duplexers.
What kinds of antennas do people use when they do repeaters?
It varies. So we have a fairly small selection of Tram Browning base station antennas. Typically what we recommend for people is we sell them a fiberglass omni-base, pre-tuned, just for convenience. They're very durable, and they require no tuning, no cutting of the antenna to work. And those can be had for just about $100.
Really? That's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
I've paid more than that for antennas.
Yeah, yeah.
So
But they're definitely not low quality or anything. They're very high quality antennas.
Mm-hmm.
They're just affordable.
Okay, so an organization, an individual looking into putting a repeater up has got quite a few considerations. Um, isn't there a limit on EIRP versus height or something like that, or am I thinking old times?
Not that I'm aware of. The only real restrictions I know of is like with GMRS repeaters on UHF. I think you can't go above 40 watts, I believe, power output, 50 watts. But that's the only thing I'm aware of in terms of restrictions.
Now, do you put together repeaters for D-Star or DMR?
Yeah, we actually do, in fact. So we have a module that we can connect to our repeaters, and we can do this here in the factory. We can set them up for D-Star, Fusion. You can use them for Fusion without, obviously you can't be in Wires X because that's Yaesu's system. We can also do DMR for amateur use only. We can set your repeater up for that. And that's an add-on module, cable, and service that can be purchased for $410 additionally with a repeater if you buy one, and we'll set it up from the factory, or if you already have one in service, you can send it back. Typically about $60 shipping both ways, and then you buy this setup, and we'll set it all up for you and send it back ready to go.
What percentage of your repeaters are set up for DMR or D-Star? I'm just trying to figure out how popular these different modes are.
Sure. So it's definitely getting a lot more popular. More and more we're selling repeaters with these modules, and then a lot of our existing customer base is actually sending their repeaters back in to get retroed up with this new technology. And with this, actually, you can run your repeater in a mixed mode setting. So you can have it be an analog and a DMR repeater at the same time. It will just input and output, like for example, if analog frequency or transmission inputs into the repeater, it'll output as an analog, and if a DMR inputs, it'll output as DMR. So you can almost have two repeaters in one.
Mm-hmm. Which is more popular, DMR or D-Star?
Yeah, definitely DMR right now, just due to the the vast number of low-cost radios due to the competition and the open source nature of it.
Mm-hmm. So now you sell DMR radios, don't you? Handheld
We
and
do.
mobile?
We don't have any mobiles at this time, but we are anticipating getting one probably late summer, early fall.
Is that an Anytone radio?
Yep.
And do you sell any brand beside Anytone?
We do dabble a little bit with the TYTs, but not as much. We've done that a little bit, but mostly we're sticking with the Anytone as we find them to be the most reliable and user-friendly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just reviewed one, the D878UV. Very nice radio. It's probably the best of the handhelds that I've seen come through here. Do you sell those?
Absolutely, and as you said, that's why we sell that radio in particular, is for the reason you just stated. But yeah, we have those. We have the older, slightly older version, the Anytone 868, which has pretty much all the features minus roaming and an analog APRS that the Anytone 878 has. But we also have the new Anytone 878 Plus, which is an Anytone 878 with Bluetooth capabilities. So you can connect it to your Bluetooth audio device, like your car, headset, even a speaker, if you'd like.
Really?
But yeah,
Yeah,
it's very,
I haven't
very
seen
neat.
the one with the Bluetooth on it. The one I have has the GPS. What kind of equipment do you use?
I personally use an Anytone 878 Plus.
Mm-hmm.
Very good radio. I have it in my car sometimes, and talk to the local guys on the local repeaters. We have a lot of here in Kansas City area. We have a lot of DMR repeaters.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them are linked into the Brandmeister network,
Mm-hmm.
which is all over the world in some instances.
Yeah.
But so there's a lot of activity all the time, and usually most of these repeaters have pretty good range as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
Are,
makes it real fun.
are there favorite talk groups for that around that are just Kansas City, or do you use like TAC 310 or one of those that goes nationwide?
Yeah, so one of those, or there's actually some Missouri wide talk groups that I'm usually on, and I can usually hit people in Springfield and St. Louis and such.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we
hmm
stayed in Springfield on our way home from Dayton.
Oh,
Um,
great.
yeah. So, what is your aspect of the business? You're in marketing, is that right?
hmm Yep. So I'm in marketing and sales. If you were to call the shop with a sales question or would like to place an order, you're most likely going to talk to me. I do a lot of the marketing. I run a lot of the content that we put out. We put out a lot of helpful and informational content to help our users and not even just our customers, but anybody with these radios and our equipment
Mm-hmm.
to really equip them to use it the best way they can. And we don't like to leave people. A lot of dealers they don't really help their user base very much with information and content. But we really like to be experts here, and we like to share our expertise with our customer base and the users of the radios we sell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a common complaint about Chinese radios in general is the lack of somebody to talk to when there's a problem, and
Right.
and it sounds like you're trying to address that with the Anytone. Um, how does the Anytone compare with the TYT radios? The TYT seem to be setting the standard for a while.
Yeah. So, in terms of comparison, well, one, you're going to have a lot more features, but more from a user standpoint, you're going to have more output power, but it's going to be just far, far more user friendly to you than say a MD380 or a 2017. And we actually have a lot of people that buy these. They're like, I just got sick of using the trackball on my 2017, or the 380 is just too hard to program. So they'll actually buy one of these if they have a code plug that they've already made for their TYT. I actually have a radio right here. But they can actually convert that over with a software called N0 GSG's Contact Manager.
Mm-hmm.
They just plop their code plug in there, and it'll spit out as an Anytone code plug, and they can just put it right in this radio and go.
Mm-hmm.
So
Now, as I recall, the Anytone has some 140,000 slot memory for the different identification numbers that people get. So you basically have everybody in the world. It seems that that database is growing rapidly.
It is, yeah. I think we're already up past 130. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm pretty sure it's close to that.
Yeah.
So I think that the new Anytone 878 has actually expandable memory that they can expand with a firmware update.
Mm-hmm.
If the contact list exceeds that 140,000 number.
Mm-hmm.
So not to worry, we're on it. If
Yeah.
you ever need to contact that many people.
Yeah. It
But
seems. I guess I've watched my Anytone radio as I have looked at or listened to people like on TAC 310,
mhm.
and the radio does seem to try to identify them. It's nice that it does that. In some ways, it's a little scary. I mean, but
Yeah.
I guess you've always had the call books you could look people up in, and there's always QRZ. You're usually in sales. What are the other parts of the company there?
Yeah, so we have the primary wings of the company at this point are the sales and marketing team, the technical support team, and those are the people that you would talk to if you ever had an issue. We're not, if you do actually have an issue with our products, you're not just going to get a voicemail. You're not going to not be replied to. We reply to everything you guys ask us, and we help all of our customers with their issues.
Okay.
hmm And then the other wings would probably be our fulfillment. We do ship some things out of our Kansas City office here, and then we do a little bit of engineering as well, and that's kind of in the tech side. But
Mm-hmm.
those would be probably the three wings of the business primarily.
Now, what do you sell more of? The individual radios or the repeaters, or are there other things that you sell?
Yeah, definitely in terms of volume of products, the individual radios like this Anytone. And that's just kind of the nature of the beast. Systems equipment like repeaters there's just going to be a smaller number of people interested in that
Mm-hmm.
for obvious reasons. Uh, but yeah.
Now, I've seen your advertisements in QST. Do you also advertise in other ham radio magazines?
So not in any other magazines right now. We are starting to advertise on a lot of ham radio websites.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Popular ones like what's his name? Oh, John Michael's site. We're trying to get on there, do some stuff with him.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Let's see, KB6NU Dan website. We advertise on there. We have a good relationship with him. We distribute a lot of his guides,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and some others as well. I believe we're on QRZ. We have an ad on there,
Mm-hmm.
but primarily we're trying to get it in the magazines and on Facebook. We have a big Facebook and YouTube presence.
Mm-hmm. If you would please just take a moment to click like on whatever you're viewing this on, and we'll get right back to the interview.
I mean, what's kind of attractive to me is, it used to kind of be you could only do this with like HF, but where you can contact people all over the world, just kind of at random. But it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of a quest to see how many people you can contact. But now that's kind of possible with these DMR radios in a way, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of HF guys are coming over from HF to do this because you can pair this with a hotspot, like a DV Mega perhaps, and get on these linked repeater net systems, and you can talk to people in England, South America. I mean, anywhere where there's a DMR, a linked DMR repeater, or a hotspot users, there's somebody to talk to usually.
Mm-hmm.
So but it's like HF, but at a much more affordable price point. This radio is only $240, whereas an HF rig could be in the thousands or tens of thousands to do the
Mm-hmm.
same thing. Yeah, so I mean, I think it's cool to be able to really like just kind of meet new people all over the place and kind of get out. But the cool thing about it's a little bit random. You don't always know who you're going to meet
Mm-hmm.
on the airwaves,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of fun because most people are stuck in their own bubble, and you really are surrounded by your circle. But with this, it's a little bit of an escape.
Yeah.
You can find all sorts of new people, have new conversations, make new friends.
Mm-hmm. Do you have anything else you'd like to say about Bridgecom to my 52,000 subscribers?
Absolutely. Um, yeah, if you, we actually have a giveaway going on if you'd like to, get a taste of the brand and what we're doing. We're actually giving away a big old repeater system right now and one of these Anytone radios. Maybe you could put the link for us in here somewhere, but that's available on our website if not. And if you want to get into DMR, I'd really recommend getting one of these Anytone radios. We have great support. We love helping you guys, helping our customers and users alike, and we're just really here to support the amateur radio community.
Mm-hmm. Now, a lot of the Chinese radios, when they first came out, aimed for as cheap as they could get, and you can still get a Baofeng for about 25 bucks. I've noticed some of the Chinese radios, like the Anytones, are starting to approach the price of their Japanese counterparts, or over $200, for example, for that one. Do you see that trend going on? Is this just a maturing of the Chinese market? What's happening? What direction do you see them going in?
Well, I think it's a bit of a maturing, but it's not so much a race to the bottom anymore. Now this radio, I mean, it's for what you're getting a lot of radio. I mean, this is a commercial grade, Part 90 accepted DMR radio, and it's really pretty underpriced for what it is. So the quality that you're going to get with this is, on par with a much higher end radio. Now, really, why the big three names, the Kenwoods, the ICOMs and stuff, why their stuff is probably a lot more expensive is just because they don't have to lower the prices because they're not competing. There's no other people really making, D-Star equipment or fusion equipment. So they don't really need to lower their prices. Whereas the DMR stuff is, there's a lot more competition in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And like with us, one of the reasons that we have this radio is because we can, at selling at this price point, we can afford to support our customers the way we do. Whereas if we're selling $25 Baofengs, there's really just no margin in there to hire the support people or invest the time, effort, and energy in really making the content that our users need.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I appreciate that. Well, thank you for your time today. I appreciate this. I may call you again if I get more questions from viewers. And
Anytime.
And thank you for being a Noggy.
All right. Good deal.
Okay, we'll talk
All
to you
right.
again.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Well, there it is. I'm impressed. They seem like quite an interesting group of people, and I would encourage you to take a look at what they're doing. They sent me a D878UV Plus, which has not only GPS but also Bluetooth in it. And a video that's upcoming shortly will address that at some length. These URLs that I'm showing on the screen are URLs that you can use to support Ham Radio Answers and Ask Dave financially, and any support is greatly appreciated. Until we meet next time, 73.